It was a cold autumn evening when Ryan, a single dad raising his 7-year-old daughter Lily, heard a hesitant knock at his front door. He opened it to find a young man, shivering under a worn-out hoodie, clutching a small backpack. His eyes avoided Ryan's, but his voice trembled as he spoke. "Sir, I know this sounds crazy, but can I shelter in your doghouse tonight?" Ryan blinked, unsure if he heard correctly. Their old Labrador, Max, had a wooden doghouse in the backyard, hardly a place for a human. But the stranger's face told a story of exhaustion and desperation. Ryan's first instinct was to protect his daughter. "Why here? Why not a shelter?" he asked cautiously. The man swallowed hard. "They're full, and I'd rather sleep outside in the cold than go back to the streets where it's dangerous. I saw your doghouse, and I thought maybe..." Before Ryan could respond, Lily peeked from behind her dad. "Daddy, he looks so tired. Max won't mind sharing." Her innocence cut through Ryan's hesitation. Ryan felt his heart wrestle between fear and compassion. Allowing a stranger near his daughter seemed risky, but turning him away felt cruel. He exhaled deeply, staring at the man whose pride had already been crushed enough to beg for a doghouse. That night, Ryan made a decision that would shock everyone in the neighborhood and change his life forever. Ryan couldn't shake the unease in his chest, but Lily's pleading eyes softened him. "All right," he said finally. "You can stay, but in the yard tonight." He handed the man an old blanket and a thermos of hot cocoa before locking the back door. From the kitchen window, Ryan watched as the stranger curled up in Max's doghouse. The old Labrador shuffled over, wagging his tail, and lay down beside him. Something about the scene, man and dog huddled together, made Ryan's chest tighten. The next morning, Ryan found the man still there, awake but quiet. He looked almost embarrassed when Ryan approached with coffee. "My name's Evan," he said softly. "I lost my job last winter, then my apartment. Been moving from place to place since. I didn't mean to scare you. I just needed one night." Ryan studied him. He had the look of someone who'd once had a normal life but had been knocked down too many times. Ryan thought of Lily, how he would want someone to show her kindness if she were ever alone. "Evan," Ryan said slowly, "I can't promise much, but you don't have to sleep in a doghouse again. Let me help." Evan's eyes widened, suspicious at first, then softening into tears he tried to hide. "Why?" he whispered. Ryan shrugged. "Because everyone deserves a second chance." Little did Ryan know, this simple act of compassion would ripple far beyond his backyard. Ryan cleared a corner in his garage that afternoon, setting up an old cot with clean sheets. "It's not much," he told Evan, "but it's warmer than outside." Evan stood in the doorway, clutching his backpack as if it were his last possession on earth. His voice cracked. "I don't know how to thank you." "You don't need to," Ryan replied. "Just promise me you'll use this as a step forward, not a hiding place." That night at dinner, Lily insisted Evan join them. "Max already likes him," she said with the logic only a child could have. Evan hesitated, but when Lily pushed a plate of spaghetti toward him, his hunger overcame his pride. The days turned into a week. Evan helped mow the lawn, fixed a broken fence, and even repaired Ryan's leaky sink without being asked. Slowly, Ryan's suspicion gave way to trust. One evening, as they watched Lily draw pictures at the table, Evan confessed, "I used to be a carpenter. Had my own shop until the economy crashed. Lost everything. After that, it felt like the world forgot me." Ryan looked at him steadily. Maybe the world did, but Lily didn't, and neither did Max. For the first time in years, Evan laughed. A deep, genuine laugh that surprised even him. What Ryan didn't realize was that his small act of kindness had already begun to inspire others. Neighbors who once whispered about the strange man in the yard soon noticed Evan fixing bikes for kids, repairing porches, and lending a hand where no one else would. And slowly, the man who once asked for shelter in a doghouse began to build something far greater, a place of belonging. By the second month, the neighborhood had taken notice. At first, there were whispers. Curious glances from across the street, murmurs at the corner store. Some parents even pulled their kids away when Evan passed. But slowly, things began to change. One Saturday, Mrs. Henderson from next door complained that her back steps were falling apart. Before Ryan could respond, Evan offered, "I can fix those for you. No charge." She hesitated, but by sundown, her porch was sturdier than ever. The next week, Mr. Patel's bike shop sign went dark. Evan climbed a ladder, replaced the wiring, and lit it back up. Soon, more neighbors came, each with small jobs, each leaving with gratitude. It wasn't long before people started saying, "That man's a blessing, not a burden." But the most profound change happened at home. Lily adored Evan, following him everywhere. He taught her how to hammer a nail, how to plant flowers, and most importantly, how kindness could rebuild broken things. One evening, Ryan found Lily curled up on the couch, whispering, "Daddy, can Evan stay forever? He doesn't have anywhere else." Ryan hesitated, his mind weighing responsibility against compassion. Evan had brought warmth back into their house, yes, but could he really take on more? That night, as Ryan stood at the window, he remembered the first knock on his door, the request that sounded absurd. "Can I shelter in your doghouse tonight?" He smiled faintly. Evan had come asking for scraps of kindness, but had given back more than anyone could have expected. Still, a test of trust was coming. One that would either confirm Ryan's faith in him or shatter it. It was a stormy night when Ryan's phone rang. He was at work, finishing a late shift. The trembling voice on the other end made his blood run cold. "Daddy, the lights went out. I'm scared," Lily whispered. Ryan's heart pounded. The storm had knocked out power across town. He told her to stay put, but before he could say more, the line cut off. Panic surged through him. By the time he raced home, rain soaking through his shirt, the street was pitch black. As he pulled into the driveway, he froze. The front door was wide open. "Lily!" he shouted, sprinting inside. But what he found stopped him in his tracks. Lily was wrapped in a blanket by the fireplace, a lantern glowing beside her. And sitting right next to her was Evan, holding her hand gently, reassuring her in the dark. She was crying when the power went out. Evan explained quietly, "I couldn't let her be alone, so I stayed with her until you got back." Ryan felt something tighten in his chest. Not fear, but relief. The man he once doubted, the stranger who asked for a doghouse, had protected the most precious part of his life. Lily looked up, smiling through sleepy eyes. "Daddy, Evan kept me safe." In that moment, Ryan realized the truth. Evan wasn't just a guest anymore. He was family. The storm outside raged on, but inside, Ryan felt an unfamiliar peace. Sometimes, the people we fear the most are the very ones sent to heal us.